Good afternoon, Robert Scribbler. It is August 23rd, 2018. Thank you for joining me for another climate change and clean energy video blog. Now for this segment, I am going to provide for you a report on new action by cities to respond to human-caused climate change by providing policies that aid in speeding the transition to clean energy. But before I do that, I'd just like to talk about how cities across the world, thousands of cities, practically every city, is threatened in some way or another by human-caused climate change. Sea level rise, increasing droughts, increasing wildfires, increasing extreme weather events, worsening water security spurred by human-caused climate change and related fossil fuel burning, and a number of other impacts, including the potential for increasing heat waves, which harm both the people who live in cities and the productivity of cities, are all examples of events related to human-caused climate change that threaten cities around the world. Many cities have noted that these events are a serious threat to cities and the citizens of cities and have already enacted policies that aim to reduce cities' contribution to human-caused climate change by both reducing fossil fuel burning and by working to reinvigorate natural systems to help pull carbon out of the air. Today, an announcement reported on in the Global Climate Action Summit newsletter notes that 19 global cities have committed to make new buildings net carbon zero by 2030. What this means is that cities will work to improve building efficiency, reducing net energy use in buildings, and providing energy for buildings from renewable energy sources only. So not only will cities work to reduce their energy consumption as a result of this policy, but also link city buildings to renewable energy. For example, in New York, building emissions are the greatest source of carbon emissions in the city, and New York is just one city who has made this commitment. Now, it's worth noting that this city response runs directly counter to harmful actions by autocratic leaders like Donald Trump linked to fossil fuel burning. But that these actions are absolutely critical when faced with bad policies by leaders who are fossil fuel related or supported to fossil fuel based monetary chains. In other words, just because there are bad actors in the global system, bad political leaders who act in a negative fashion, doesn't mean that we should weaken our resolve. In fact, it is a signal that those of us who are both aware of the climate crisis and aware of impacts should strengthen our resolve and promote new policies, new actions that will work to reduce global carbon emissions, regardless of bad actor policy. So, some good news from global cities, but it's worth noting that 19 is, though a significant number, there are many more cities that could act. I'd just like to also add that in addition to this new policy, there has been an ongoing trend toward both countries and cities producing bans for fossil fuel-based vehicles. and that these bans have continued through to the present year, with numerous bans by countries being announced since 2016, and with Ireland and Israel announcing bans for new vehicle gasoline and diesel vehicle sales in 2030. The cities themselves that have announced fossil fuel vehicle bans include Athens, Brussels, Madrid, Mexico City, Paris, Rome, and Scotland, primarily banning diesel vehicles due to air pollution. But it's worth noting that the territory of Scotland recently announced both a gasoline and a diesel vehicle ban. So just some examples of actions by both cities and countries that can provide a positive impact in the present situation where we have entered a dangerous range of human-caused climate change between 1 and 2 degrees Celsius warming above pre-industrial averages. It's worth noting that these efforts are going to need to escalate, especially considering opposition by bad climate actors like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be chatting with you soon.